Have you ever wondered what's really happening inside your body when you skip breakfast and lunch and eat just once a day? Maybe you've heard friends talking about intermittent fasting, or perhaps you've accidentally fallen into this pattern and noticed some changes in how you feel. If you're over 60, you might be thinking about whether eating once a day is safe, beneficial, or something you should avoid altogether. Well, you're in the right place, because today I am going to walk you through exactly what happens in your body, hour by hour, when you eat just one meal a day. So watch this video till the end. Now, before we dive in, I want to be clear about something important. This video isn't about telling you that you must eat once a day, or that it's the perfect solution for everyone. What we're doing here is exploring the science and the reality of what happens physiologically when your body goes through an extended period without food, and then receives all its nutrition in one sitting. Understanding this process can help you make informed decisions about what's right for your own health, especially as we get older, and our bodies have different needs than they did in our younger years. The reason this topic matters so much for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond is that our metabolism, hormone levels, and nutritional needs change as we age. What worked when we were 30 might not work the same way now, and what seemed impossible back then might actually offer some surprising benefits today. So whether you're curious about trying this eating pattern, you're already doing it and want to understand it better, or you're just interested in how your amazing body works, this video will give you the complete picture. In this video, we'll take you through a complete day, starting from the moment you wake up without eating breakfast, moving through the afternoon hours, and finally to that single meal and beyond. We'll talk about what's happening with your blood sugar, your energy levels, your hormones, and even your brain function. We'll look at both the potential benefits and the things you need to watch out for, because knowledge is power when it comes to your health. I am Dr. David Jackson, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, subscribe now. Like and share this video to all seniors who want to know more about their health. Let's start with the morning hours. Specifically, what happens in those first few hours after you wake up and choose not to eat? When you open your eyes in the morning, your body has already been fasting for perhaps 8 to 10 hours while you slept. This is actually a natural fasting state that everyone experiences, which is why the first meal of the day is called breakfast. You're literally breaking the fast. But when you decide to extend that fast and skip your morning meal, something interesting begins to happen. During those first couple of hours after waking, roughly from hour 1 to hour 3 of your waking day, your body is running primarily on glucose that's stored in your liver in the form of glycogen. Think of glycogen as your body's quick-access energy savings account. Throughout the night and into the morning, your liver has been steadily releasing small amounts of glucose into your bloodstream to keep everything running smoothly. Your brain working, your heart beating, your lungs breathing. This is all happening automatically, without you needing to think about it or eat anything. Now, here's where it gets interesting for those of us over 60. As we age, our bodies often become less efficient at managing blood sugar. You might have noticed that you feel a bit shaky or lightheaded if you go too long without eating, or perhaps your doctor has mentioned concerns about your blood sugar levels. In these early morning hours without food, your body is actually getting better at using its stored energy. Your insulin levels are low, which is generally a good thing because it means your cells are becoming more sensitive to insulin. This improved insulin sensitivity is one reason why some older adults find that extended fasting periods help them manage their weight and blood sugar better than eating multiple small meals throughout the day. But let's be honest about how this feels. If you're used to having your oatmeal or toast first thing in the morning, those first few mornings without breakfast might feel uncomfortable. You might feel hungry, maybe a bit irritable, or find it hard to concentrate. This is completely normal, and it's your body sending signals based on your established routine. Your stomach has learned to expect food at certain times, and it produces hormones like ghrelin, the hunger hormone, on that schedule. The good news is that if you stick with it, these hunger signals often diminish after a few days as your body adapts to the new pattern. As we move into hours 4 through 6 of your day, still without eating, your body starts making a significant shift in how it powers itself. Remember that glycogen storage we talked about? Well, it's starting to run low. Your liver has been steadily releasing glucose all morning, and now those stores are getting depleted. This is when your body begins to transition into a metabolic state called ketosis, though you're just at the beginning stages of this process. During this mid-morning period, your body starts breaking down fat cells to use for energy. This process creates molecules called ketones, which your brain can use as an alternative fuel source to glucose. Now, I know the word ketosis might sound scientific or even a bit scary, but it's actually a completely natural process that humans have been doing for thousands of years. Our ancestors didn't have refrigerators or grocery stores on every corner, so their bodies needed to be able to function well even when food wasn't immediately available. Your body has this same incredible capability built right in. For those of us over 60, this fat-burning phase can be particularly beneficial. As we age, many of us find it harder to lose stubborn fat, especially around the midsection. When you extend your fasting period into these middle hours of the day, you're giving your body an opportunity to tap into those fat stores for energy. Some people report feeling a surge of mental clarity during this time, often calling it a sort of focused energy that feels different from the energy they get after eating a big meal. Now that we've covered what happens in those crucial morning hours and into the middle of your day, let's move on to the afternoon period, when your body is really settling into this fasted state, and some fascinating changes are taking place. As we move into the afternoon hours, roughly 6 to 12 hours since you last ate, your body is now firmly in a state that it's quite comfortable with, even though it might feel unfamiliar to you at first. This is when some of the most remarkable processes begin to unfold, and understanding them can really help you appreciate what your body is capable of, even after 60. During these afternoon hours, let's say from around 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, something called autophagy starts to ramp up significantly. Now, I know that's another scientific-sounding word, but stay with me because this is actually one of the most exciting parts of what happens when you eat once a day. Autophagy literally means self-eating, and before you think that sounds alarming, let me explain what's really going on. Your body is essentially doing some house cleaning at the cellular level. Think of it this way. Imagine your home after years of living in it. You accumulate things, some useful, some broken, some just taking up space. So you need to go through your closets and drawers, throw out what's damaged, recycle what can be reused, and organize what's worth keeping. That's exactly what autophagy does inside your cells. Your body starts identifying damaged proteins, worn-out cell parts, and even harmful bacteria or viruses that might be lurking around. Then it breaks them down and either removes them completely or recycles their components to build new, healthy cellular structures. For those of us in our 60s and beyond, this cellular cleanup process becomes increasingly important. As we age, our cells naturally accumulate more damage and debris. This buildup is actually one of the factors that contributes to aging itself and to age-related diseases. When you give your body these extended periods without food, you're essentially giving it the time and resources to focus on this maintenance work instead of constantly processing incoming food. Some researchers believe this is one reason why periods of fasting have been associated with longevity and reduced risk of certain age-related conditions. Now, let's talk about how you might actually feel during these afternoon hours. This varies quite a bit from person to person, and it often changes as your body adapts to this eating pattern. Some people experience what they describe as a calm, steady energy. You might notice that you're not experiencing the usual mid-afternoon slump that often hits after lunch. That's because your blood sugar is stable. It's not spiking and crashing the way it does after meals. Your body is running on a steady supply of energy from fat stores and producing those ketones we mentioned earlier. However, it's important to be realistic. Especially in the first week or two of eating once a day, you might feel tired or foggy during these hours. You might find yourself thinking about food more than usual. This is particularly common if you've spent decades eating 3 meals a day at regular times. Your body and mind are adjusting to a new rhythm, and that takes time. For older adults, I always recommend taking this transition slowly. Maybe start by skipping breakfast but keeping lunch and dinner, then gradually work toward 1 meal a day if that's your goal. There's no prize for rushing this process, and your comfort and safety should always come first. As we move deeper into the afternoon, perhaps around hours 12 to 16 of fasting, your body continues to produce more ketones, and many people report that this is when they start feeling noticeably different in a positive way. Your mental clarity might improve significantly. You might feel more focused and alert than you have in years. This isn't just in your imagination. Ketones are actually a very efficient fuel for your brain. Some studies suggest that the brain operates particularly well on ketones, which is why some people who practice extended fasting report better memory, sharper thinking, and improved concentration. For those of us concerned about cognitive health as we age, And let's face it, who isn't concerned about keeping their mind sharp? This is particularly interesting. While eating once a day certainly isn't a cure-all or a guarantee against cognitive decline, the metabolic state it creates does provide your brain with a different type of fuel that it seems to use quite efficiently. Some people find that their lifelong brain fog starts to lift, or that they can focus on tasks like reading, puzzles, or even conversations with more clarity than they've experienced in years. During these same hours, something else remarkable is happening with your hormones. Your human growth hormone, often called HGH, starts to increase. This might surprise you because we tend to think of growth hormone as something that matters when we're children and teenagers, but it actually plays important roles throughout our entire lives. Growth hormone helps preserve muscle mass, supports bone density, aids in tissue repair, and helps regulate your metabolism. As we age, our natural production of growth hormone declines significantly, which is one reason why we tend to lose muscle mass and bone strength as we get older. When you fast for extended periods, your growth hormone levels can increase quite substantially. Some studies have shown increases of up to 300% or even more during fasting periods. For older adults, this boost in growth hormone can be particularly valuable. It can help counteract some of that age-related muscle loss, support better recovery if you're exercising, and contribute to overall vitality. Of course, eating once a day isn't the only factor in maintaining muscle and bone health. You still need adequate protein, resistance exercise, and proper nutrition. But it can be a helpful part of the equation. Now let's move into the late afternoon and early evening hours, those crucial hours before you finally eat your one meal of the day. By this point, you might be anywhere from 16 to 20 hours into your fast, depending on when you wake up and when you plan to eat. Your body has now adapted fully to running on stored energy. Your blood sugar is stable and low. Your insulin levels are at their baseline, and your body is efficiently using fat for fuel. This is also when you need to start thinking carefully about that upcoming meal. After all these hours without food, your digestive system has been resting, and you want to treat it gently when you break your fast. You might be feeling quite hungry by now, and there can be a temptation to eat everything in sight, but this is actually a crucial moment that requires some thoughtfulness and planning. As we approach the time for your one meal, let's talk about what happens when you finally sit down to eat, and how to make that meal work best for your body. When you finally sit down to eat your one meal of the day after all those hours of fasting, the first bite you take sets off an incredible cascade of responses throughout your entire body. Within minutes, sensors in your mouth and stomach start sending signals to your brain that food has arrived. Your digestive system, which has been in rest mode for the past 16 to 20 hours, suddenly springs into action. Your stomach begins producing acid, your pancreas starts releasing enzymes, and your entire gastrointestinal tract prepares to process the nutrition you're about to give it. This is where many people make a critical mistake, especially when they're new to eating once a day. After fasting for so long, there's a natural urge to eat quickly and to eat large amounts of food. You might feel ravenously hungry, and the temptation is to pile your plate high and eat until you're absolutely stuffed. But here's the thing. Your digestive system has been resting, and asking it to suddenly process a huge amount of food, especially if it's heavy, greasy, or highly processed, can lead to discomfort, bloating, and even digestive upset. For those of us over 60, this is even more important to consider. Our digestive systems naturally become less efficient as we age. We produce less stomach acid, our digestive enzymes aren't as abundant, and our gut motility, the movement of food through our intestines, tends to slow down. So when you break your fast, start gently. Begin with something easy to digest. Many people find that starting with a small portion of vegetables, perhaps some bone broth, or a modest serving of lean protein works well. Give yourself 15 or 20 minutes. Let your body start processing that initial food, and then continue with the rest of your meal. Within the first 30 minutes to an hour of eating, your blood sugar will start to rise. This is completely normal and expected. It's what happens whenever anyone eats. The carbohydrates in your food are broken down into glucose, which enters your bloodstream. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin, which helps shuttle that glucose into your cells, where it can be used for energy or stored for later. After all those hours of low insulin levels, your body is actually quite sensitive to insulin now, which means it can handle this influx of glucose more efficiently than if you'd been eating throughout the day. However, this is also why the composition of your one meal matters so much. If you eat a meal that's extremely high in refined carbohydrates and sugar, think white bread, pasta, sugary desserts, and processed snacks, your blood sugar is going to spike dramatically. Even though your insulin sensitivity is improved from fasting, a massive sugar load can still overwhelm your system, especially as an older adult. You might feel shaky, overly full, or experience an energy crash an hour or two later. Instead, focus on building a balanced meal with plenty of protein, healthy fats, fiber-rich vegetables, and moderate amounts of complex carbohydrates. This combination will provide steady energy and help you feel satisfied without that uncomfortable, overstuffed feeling. As you continue eating your meal, your body is also working hard to absorb all the nutrients you're providing. This is why the quality of your one meal becomes absolutely crucial when you're eating once a day. You're getting all your daily nutrition in this single sitting, so every bite needs to count. You need adequate protein to maintain your muscle mass, which is especially important as we age. You need calcium and vitamin D for your bones, B vitamins for energy and cognitive function, and healthy fats for brain health and hormone production. Many older adults who eat once a day find it helpful to think of their meal as a celebration of nutrition, rather than just a feeding session. Include a variety of colorful vegetables. The different colors represent different beneficial plant compounds. Add a good portion of protein, whether that's fish, chicken, eggs, or plant-based options if you prefer. Include some healthy fats from sources like avocado, olive oil, nuts, or fatty fish. These fats not only provide essential nutrients, but also help you feel satisfied and full. And don't forget about hydration. Drink water with your meal and throughout the rest of your evening. In the hours after you finish eating, typically 1 to 4 hours post-meal, your body is in full digestive mode. Blood flow is directed toward your digestive system, which is why you might feel a bit sleepy or relaxed after eating. This is sometimes called the rest and digest state, controlled by your parasympathetic nervous system. Your body is breaking down the food, absorbing nutrients, and beginning to store excess energy as glycogen in your liver and muscles. And yes, some as fat if you've eaten more than your body needs. This post-meal period is actually a wonderful time to relax. Perhaps take a gentle walk if you feel up to it, or engage in calm activities. Many people find that eating their one meal in the evening works well, because they can then relax for the rest of the night without worrying about when to eat next. Others prefer eating their meal at midday and then having a light, easy evening. There's no single right answer. It depends on your lifestyle, your schedule, and how your body responds. As the evening progresses and you move toward bedtime, your body continues processing the nutrients from your meal. By the time you go to sleep, several hours after eating, your body is already beginning to shift back toward that fasted state. Your insulin levels are dropping, your blood sugar is stabilizing, and as you sleep through the night, you'll once again deplete those glycogen stores and begin the cycle anew. Now, let's take a moment to bring all of this together. We've walked through an entire day of eating once a day, from the moment you wake up through all those fasting hours, to finally eating your meal and the hours afterward. You've seen how your body shifts from using stored glucose to burning fat, how it ramps up cellular cleanup processes, how your hormones adjust, and how your one meal impacts everything from your blood sugar to your energy levels. But here's what I want you to really understand. Eating once a day isn't inherently good or bad. It's a tool. And like any tool, it works well for some people and not for others. Some older adults thrive on this eating pattern. They find it simplifies their lives, improves their energy, helps them manage their weight, and makes them feel better overall. Others find it too challenging, too restrictive, or simply not compatible with their health conditions or medications. If you have diabetes, if you're taking medications that need to be taken with food multiple times a day, if you have a history of eating disorders, or if you have certain other health conditions, eating once a day might not be appropriate for you. This is why I always encourage you to talk with your doctor before making significant changes to your eating patterns, especially if you're over 60 and managing any health conditions. Remember, the goal isn't to follow the latest trend or to force yourself into an eating pattern that makes you miserable. The goal is to find what works for your unique body, your lifestyle, and your health goals. Maybe eating once a day is perfect for you, or maybe eating 2 meals a day feels better, or perhaps you do best with 3 smaller meals. What matters is that you're making informed choices based on understanding how your body works. Small changes really can make a big difference in your health and happiness. Whether you decide to try eating once a day or simply take away some insights about how your body manages energy and nutrition, you're empowering yourself with knowledge. You're taking an active role in your health, and that's something to feel proud of at any age. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Have you tried eating once a day? Are you thinking about trying it? What questions do you still have? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This community is such a wonderful place to learn from each other and support one another on our health journeys. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I am here every day with practical, evidence-based information to help you live your healthiest, most vibrant life after 60. Your health matters, your questions matter, and you matter. Here's to understanding your amazing body and making choices that help you feel your absolute best, today and every day. Take care of yourself, be patient with yourself, and remember that you have the wisdom and the strength to make positive changes at any stage of life.